Well, Snow, most podcasts take this time of year off, about a week before Christmas until New Year's, so.
Not us. We're
Not
hardworking.
us. Well, it's a hardworking when we have nothing better to do.
Probably the latter.
Yeah, but hey, we provide our fans content in this time where there is no new content. So, Christmas Eve, we went to Vegas. And
You and Ra Ray.
Ray went to
She's
Vegas.
joining us.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
And I was getting frustrated because my kids, I wanted to give them something tangible for Christmas, something they could open up.
Mm-hmm.
And they're at the age where you can't find anything, where they just want something that is, imported from Japan or something like that. So I couldn't get it ordered in time. So I'm going from place to place to place.
Can't they pick the stuff that's imported from China? There's tons of that stuff everywhere.
Yeah, but even then it was stuff I couldn't find on Amazon.
Really?
Like their Christmas list, yeah.
Not even on Amazon?
That kind of weird stuff they're into. Just
what are your kids into?
Just obscure anime stuff.
Oh,
stuff
anime.
like that.
You would think that you could get a lot of anime, though, on Amazon. I don't know.
So while we were on that side of Vegas, I was getting totally frustrated with trying to find Christmas presents. Nothing, even the comic book stores, all the T-shirts were extra, 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 extra large, like they were sundresses.
Tense.
Yeah. So I'm looking, I'm flipping through, and I get this ad. Must have been because of the side of town we're on. I get this ad on Facebook. This place called Seaquest. And if you look at this, on Facebook, it looks like a legitimate place, right? You can verify
Absolutely. The branding, it's beautiful. The photographs just look amazing.
Yeah. And there was a Groupon.
Of course there was a Groupon.
Yeah. That should have
I
been...
love Groupon, though, for stuff like that.
That should have been the warning sign, though. 2 for $22. So I'm like, hey, let's go check this out. It's only a few miles from here. And so we go over, and we're kind of just a couple blocks over from the bad side of town in Vegas, where back in the 70s and 80s, all the shopping districts were, where all the malls were.
Right.
And so there's Seaquest in one of those malls. The second warning sign should have been it was next to a Goodwill.
Huh. Nothing good ever takes place next to a Goodwill.
I was okay. The third warning sign was there was a pigeon that had a shank in its mouth.
What? What?
It had this
For
little,
real?
Yeah, it had this little wooden spear in its mouth. This little sharpened piece of wood in its mouth.
It was kind of coming up and mad dogging us.
Yeah.
With this little spear.
It's ready to shank you.
Yeah.
Walk any closer.
And much like if you walk around Vegas, nobody gets out of your way. This bird would not get out of the way. It just stood its ground there with its little shank in its mouth.
It's like, fuck you, go around.
So we walk around it, and we go inside this mall, and across the mall there's, again, this is probably the fourth warning sign, is there's one of these kids' adventure places with go-karts and a rock climbing wall. So these kids are rock climbing, and these big dinosaurs wrapped in Christmas lights.
Hey, they're trying to be festive.
And so there was Seaquest. All right, go in. The fifth warning sign should have been we had to sign a waiver before we go in there.
What?
There was a waiver to sign.
What did they think? What were some of the possible situations that could have happened to you that you would have to sign this waiver?
Okay, we'll get to that. But being like anything else these days, you get the little notice. When you go to upgrade to the newest thing,
you get the EULA and you just flip through and you sign and you move on with your life.
You just scroll past it and just sign at the bottom. you know. And, you know, again, some of the things that were on there, if we would have read it, is we are not responsible for any injuries that occur with the animals. We're especially not responsible for any medical bills or injuries that happen to your children while at this facility. Then you kind of think about, well, how bad could it be on it? And so you go in, and the first thing is you see is a couple otters, you know, and
Otters are cool.
yeah, otters are cool. I mean, that was my favorite. Like, so otters, all right, cool. Well, worth it. This is worth $22 right there. But if you pay extra, you could actually feed these animals.
That's why they got the waiver, because they might take a finger off while they're trying to get their snack.
It gets better.
Okay.
So yeah, that's basically it. And then as we go through, you notice like some of them are like in these, what could be best described as a china hutch that's partitioned off, and some of the animals don't even have like a label. Because you know, you have the little nameplate with a little description of the animal, where it's from, you know, and you know, a little description of part of this family, you know, and stuff like that. There was some of the animals that didn't even have that, like a bearded dragon. It was just a bearded dragon. You're like, okay, well, that's a bearded dragon, but there was no description telling you it was a bearded dragon.
Okay.
Some of you had to guess, like, what the hell is that thing?
Huh.
And they had like these, it was this weird, random type, you'd think Seaquest, right? But there was these weird, random animals, like a coati, which is like almost what your mother had, like the
they're like a raccoon thing,
like a raccoon,
or a cat
ringtail
thing.
type thing.
Yeah.
But this wasn't native. This was native to somewhere else. But if they had a sign to tell us where it was from, they don't have the sign. And then they had this big cage of parakeets, like hundreds of parakeets, where every hour on the hour you could go in and feed these things. Now, one thing that happens in this, what do you think would happen? Now, we weren't there at feeding time, but say if you had like a handful of bird seed and about 100 parakeets, what do you think would happen? Yeah. So then it cut.
I get your eyes pecked out.
Again, you know, which is kind of like,
That's where
right,
the waiver comes in.
That's kind of odd. And then you get to like a tank full of stingrays. Now, I'm sure you've seen that before. I've been to an aquarium where you pet them, and they, you know, usually the water's, you know, like maybe 2 feet deep.
Yeah, it's not very deep.
And you can reach over, and you know, and there's always, here's a clue. There's always someone there to tell you, hey, put 2 fingers, start at the back of the head, and then work your way down the tail. Don't do it the opposite way. That's how you get Steve Irwin.
Okay.
Because that little spike comes out.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was nobody around supervising this. Okay, and since you can feed these things, you go up, and instead of them like gliding by you, like in the other places, they'll see your hand and they're like, okay, well, yeah, I'll allow you to pet me. These things were like coming out of the water, like with their mouths open, like, bah, bah, feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me. And what happened to you?
Oh wow.
And he's like, come on, just touch him. Are you afraid of him? And the thing jumped out of the water like Jaws and hit my arm, like in midair.
Like, give me my food now.
But these things they were jumping out of the tanks. And
That's weird. Like, I've never been to a place where the stingrays, they've always stayed in the water.
well, and the more you'd look around this place, the more you'd realize that a lot of these animals were like horrendously overweight or depressed, and that it's dirty there. It's not as clean as like a normal aquarium would be.
Yeah, like there was this one lizard that literally looked like Jabba the Hutt.
It did.
But again, if you're allowing the people to go in and feed them constantly,
they're going to just want to continue to eat food.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then right next to the stingray, there's like chickens walking around.
What?
Yeah,
Like
chickens.
free range?
Yeah, like just a chicken. What's?
But don't they like walk around
And next to
shit?
the chickens were the wallabies.
Yeah, and then they have like wallabies, like the little kangaroo-looking things.
Right?
Yeah. So then you get to the shark tank, and shit you not, and I thought this was totally a joke. It said, "Keep your hands above the water when you're feeding them," and I'm like, that cannot be, because you see like a shark tank and like these 3-foot long sharks swimming around. I'm like, that cannot be. They don't actually. And yeah, I see a little 6-year-old kid, mother nowhere to be found, leaning over the water, feeding these sharks. I don't think the sharks look too.
My God.
They didn't look too enthused about whatever.
I don't think I would ever want to feed a shark. That's like one of the animals I would pass on doing the feeding of.
Yeah. So we're looking at the signs and we're kind of like laughing we're like, wow, this is $22 well spent, until we started really thinking about it. Then we get to this another tank, and it's another pool. It's maybe 3-4 feet deep, like the stingrays. And the sign says, and I swear to God, I thought this was a joke, please do not grab the shark by the tail. And I'm like, wait a minute. In order to have that sign, someone must have done it.
This is what I'm thinking. I'm like, do you have a wall of like losers somewhere that have done all the things that your signs tell people not to do?
This is literally like a shark petting zoo.
How is like the Department of Animals or wait, I don't even know who.
We're gonna get to that.
How have they not shut this place down? Oh my God.
So, again, I was like, all right, a shark petting zoo. This is the most Vegas thing I've ever seen. But what did I do? I had to pet one. I was more like poking it. I was more like poking it because I was afraid it was going to bite me. So I was like poking it by the dorsal fin.
If you pet it like on its back part, like it can't really get you.
Who knew though? Well, I mean, I suppose I should have known that. Like they were all feeling like sandpaper and stuff. Mm-hmm. Very rough scales. So it turns out that this place, the sign that said, well, please keep your hands above the water, was because a 3-year-old got bit in the elbow by one of these sharks.
If you like the podcast you're listening to right now, I have another show I want to tell you about. It's called Dark Mode with John Coyle, and it's the first ever comedy podcast for entrepreneurs, marketers, and creatives. I bring together comedians and marketers to brainstorm funny ideas for our listeners. I'm the host, John Coyle, and I've personally built and sold a social media agency, and now I consult with more than 40 brands. I started Dark Mode because I wanted to give everyone a peek behind the curtain of the business-changing and life-changing creative brainstorming sessions that I've been a part of. If you want to get your creative juices flowing and have a good laugh, then listen to Dark Mode with John Coyle wherever you get your podcasts.
Wow. What was its whole elbow doing in the water?
I don't know. And what kind of parent are you that you're going to, here, let me dangle my kid above the water?
Stick your arm in there and stick it in further. You're never going to pet it until you get your arm really in there. Oh, God.
And then after that, we take another look around and you realize like the animals just looked really sad. They had this, except for the otters. The otters were the only ones that seemed like they were having a good time. Yeah. So it turns out there's 6 of these. Well, there used to be 10 Seaquest, and they're in malls across America. It's some kind of chain store. Many have gone out of business. One in Denver went out of business. And the Denver Zoo rescued all the animals. and took it over. There's been multiple USDA violations of the Wildlife Welfare Act on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how the Vegas one is still open.
Apparently, they haven't paid their rent, and they had like $500,000 back rent, and they just went bankrupt last month.
How are they not gone by now? And more importantly, does Vegas have a zoo?
No, not per se. They have something that's like Keepers of the Wild outside of Vegas. Like an animal rescue place.
Because I'm like, maybe they could
Then you have like
take these animals to a zoo.
I mean, then you had like the Mandalay Bay, which is a much more humane type aquarium than this place.
Yeah.
I don't know. And
where's the ASPCA when you need them?
I mean, I didn't know the USDA oversaw animal welfare violations.
It kind of makes sense though, like that,
Yeah.
that it would fall under that because.
And then like they had one in Vegas and the one in Denver. Both had two sloths named Flash the sloth. But yeah, two sloths that died, and then they covered it up. So, and if you like go on YouTube, there's all sorts of 5 on your side investigations on this place and stuff like that. Nothing good. So
how are they still in business?
Here I was thinking like, hey, $22, let's go see some cute animals. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll have penguins or something like that. But no.
No penguins?
No penguins.
How big is this place?
I would say like it looked like it was a former department store.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's what I was
wondering. It was good side with these hallways that kind of lead you around, so you're kind of going the correct way, and you come in and out of the gift shop.
Okay.
Like you signed the waiver at the gift shop, and then we're like afterwards reading the waiver and like going, oh, holy shit, really?
Did you take home any souvenirs from this place?
We should have like rescued the otters,
right?
Like rambled them out of there. But yeah, but afterwards I felt the buyers, like, how long did we laugh about that? We were laughing about that for quite a while.
I know, and now I feel really bad about it.
Yeah.
Because, like I've been to concentration camps in Germany that had, like, a better vibe than this place. It was really sad. It was the very worst aquarium I've been in my entire life. It was awful. But there was something, like, about that. It was almost a gallows humor about it, like, could it possibly be worse than this? What did we step into?
Yeah.
And this is a place you take children, like on field trips and for their birthdays.
To get their elbows bit by sharks.
Okay,
yeah.
So, take a guess. Out of 5 stars, what do you think it's rated?
The Vegas one in the Boulevard Mall.
Yeah. What
1 star.
What's the average?
4.7.
What?
4.7.
On Yelp?
On Google reviews.
Oh wow.
So I don't know. I guess people are just oblivious to what was going on there.
Like, yeah, it sounds like maybe you guys were the spoil sports that, like, most people have a good time when they go there.
Look, well, I mean, it was sad by the end of it. The last room. Well, the last room is the shark. The shark.
They save the best for last. Like, if you're gonna get bit,
we want you to make it through the whole aquarium, and then at the end, because we don't want you to ruin.
But before that, there's the best way I could describe it. It looked like a prison of exotic birds.
Yes.
Where you had a macaw, and then you had you had a toucan type thing. Then you had a macaw. The macaw looked really sad, and then you had like this double decker of like 8 other exotic birds on top of each other. It like literally looked like a bird prison.
Yeah, well, yeah, because
By that time, I was feeling pretty like
birds want to fly.
I'm starting to rethink my decision about coming here.
Well, hopefully that place gets shut down. That sounds terrible.
I would say by this time next year, I doubt this place would be open.
Yeah. Not if they're like that much in debt, too.
Can you imagine being an employee there and witnessing this? I would like one of those inside investigation things. They interviewed one of their former employees. It was just like almost that one where, they've shaded
The voice
and
is
they changed
scrambled.
the voice on it.
Did the employees look happy?
What employees? We saw one in the beginning.
One in the beginning for the waiver.
And there was maybe a couple wandering around with the dead eyes. Like they've seen too much in the
I know, they're like,
war.
you don't know what all I've seen.
Apparently it's roach infested too.
Ew!
We didn't see anything, but
They may have recently sprayed or something.
Yeah.
God. Just when you think it can't get worse. Then cockroaches? Yuck.
So that was it. So then after we left the happiest place in Vegas, we decided, hey, let's walk around. And the social experience in Vegas is, do people get out of your way? Like we're walking side by side, and you get another couple walking towards us and be like, okay, it doesn't look like we can move over. Okay, let me step aside. And there's no, sorry, hey, pardon me, Merry Christmas. There's this whole family out in front of the stratosphere, like mother, father, maybe 4 kids, taking up the entire sidewalk. Mm-hmm. Strollers blocking the sidewalk and everything. Just sitting there chatting. Do you think they tried to move out of the way?
Mm-mm.
We had to walk in the street and go around them.
I know. I was going to say, I love when there's like a group of 4 people walking on the sidewalk and not one of those motherfuckers will single file it. It's like...
Yeah. Like in the hotel, they'd be
I'm only one person.
In the hotel, they'd be walking 4 wide. A family of 4 walking 4 wide. And here we are, and we were constantly having to do the, all right, let's get behind each other. Past them.
You should just start stopping right in front of them. Try that social experiment. See if they'll go around you. Or if they'll just try to continue to walk right through you.
Yeah. And then we had a good time. Overall, though, we had a good time, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was, a possible dead body in the first room.
Oh, wait, what would you tell you that? That part. We go to the Strat. And
this is like a Vegas on the cheap experience type thing.
We go up to the room. Okay, you're on this floor. And then you get the guy that helped check this in was great, lovely, friendly guy. But we open up the room, and the first thing you see was, as you open the door, there's this little bench thing where you might change. There was a pair of dirty underwear on that bench. There was
wet, dirty underwear.
There was a couple. There was a couple bags of takeout from somewhere, but you looked on the bed, and there was this large mound. It had to be like 2 or 3 feet high, of covers. Now, if you've been to, hotels don't really give you a bunch of covers now. They give you that one sheet, and they give you another, like a comforter, a thin comforter thing over it. So we're like, what could that be? So, thinking it's a person, close the door, go back down to the lobby. Yeah, I don't think our room is ready yet. And like, oh, we're sorry. And the guy was just like, I think we have an unintended guest in that we'll send security up. And then they gave us a VIP room, like on the 21st floor.
Was it nice? Was it like a suite?
No, it was just a normal.
Oh, they just put you on a higher floor.
Yeah.
Okay. Better view.
Oh, yeah, the ghetto.
No.
We were on that side. Yeah,
you
see the entire ghetto from up there. So, Yeah, it was an experience. We made the best of it, though. I even decided to give my favorite pizza place another try. You know, Naked City Pizza. They really.
They do have good pies.
They did screw me over earlier this year, but no, hey, give them another chance. So it's 5:30 and we order. And I called up beforehand and said, hey, do you have gluten-free options for your crust? Yes, but you have to place the order online. Okay. So I place the order. It's about 5:30. No, it's maybe 5 o'clock. Because we decided after that to go up in the tower. So we go up in the tower. It was great view, but it was cold up there, so we didn't stay. Come back down. I ready to place the order. About 5:32, we ended up placing the order. At 5:35, I get the notification on my phone. Oh, one or more of your items has been canceled. Like, okay, so I call them back. Yeah, maybe they didn't have the gluten-free dough. Thinking something like that. No, we stopped taking orders at 5:30. I'm like, okay, well, when I called you at 5 o'clock, couldn't you have mentioned that?
Could have told me.
And then when I called back, they just said, nope, your order's been canceled. No, I'm sorry, I apologize. Or remember when we got takeout here from the Filipino place? Mm-hmm. They called us and said, oh, by the way, we don't have that item. Would you like this instead?
Right.
Okay. Like to call. No, there's no phone call. Well, the transaction was pending on the card. You know, thinking like, well, they won't actually charge you for that.
Yeah, it'll fall off.
It'll fall off. Nope. Transaction went through.
You're like, I still don't have my pizza. Like, why am I paying for this?
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say they're gonna do the right thing, but who knows?
You can always call your credit card company and get it taken off, though. Your credit card company works for you, not them.
So, yeah. So despite all that, we had a good time. It doesn't sound like it.
It totally was fun.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Well, stuff like that sometimes is always an adventure. So.
It was an adventure.
And then you've got stories to tell later.
Yep. And this was a story.
Yeah.
So yeah, $22 to be exposed to sea life being abused.
Right? Yeah. That's sad though. I hope they get shut down. I mean, I'm sorry, but
yeah, I think there's no way.
You're in all that debt. It's dirty. All the animals are fat, sick, and nearly dead. Like, except the otters, but otters can probably have a party wherever they are, you know.
The otters probably learn how to steal stuff. You know, like while you're feeding them, they probably take your watch.
Right? Make some extra cash.
Yeah, so that was our Christmas. All right, so we'll wrap this one up. A couple quick ones today. You know, we got to do our end of the year awards.
The Star Awards.
Unlike the ones where we highlight the worst people, we highlight the best people.
Which I can't wait. I really want to highlight the best people better. I think it's always more fun.
But somehow coming up with that list seems harder.
There's a lot of good people out there, though. Yeah. I think that once you start thinking about it, you'll be like, okay, yeah. Like, it's pretty easy to come up with. We can at least find 10.
Yeah. We'll have to do some research on that one.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and we will talk to you later.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.